what I want to do is take you forward to where we want to get to. So it's really about looking at the technique. So really the important part is the bit before the techniques that I want you guys to train. Alright, but I want to, so it's not so boring, I'll show you. Everything that Wing Chun is because we do the bridge training because of the weapons. Alright, so everything that we do in Wing Chun can be translated to these. Alright, so what I'll do, if I grab Luke just for a second there, okay. So when we talk about Wing Chun, what are we talking about? First thing when I talk Wing Chun is about, so just take one knife, okay, let's say hold up the knife to the side, yeah. So first thing we do is that we talk about the center, or center line, okay. So the first thing we do when we take the knife, we do not give up the principles of Wing Chun. Everything's about the center or center line, okay. So if we do anything, strike, what I'm after his center. Right? You pretty much know if you've got his center or not, because if he pushes it out of the way, I don't have his center, but only nor do you. You see? So really, you can see with the knife, it's very obvious what the actual center is. If you keep talking about the center line, what is the center line? If we go this way and we hit it, we go past each other, you've obviously got my center, I don't have his center straight away. Can you see? So it's very obvious to do it again. You hold on to my center this time. So again, go past. Luke's got my center. I don't have his center. Yes? So then we do it again. He's got my center. I don't have his center. Unless I put my intention to the blade and try and take back his center. What I need to do, I need to get with this position. I can either move there and take that position, or I use a bridging technique. What can I use from here? Use the tang to open it up to regain the center. Can you see? So every single technique. Now you guys won't know the techniques because I never really gone through them. But now you'll see what the techniques and see how relevant it is. So what we got in terms of Wing Chun, we got signature techniques like Pak Sau, Tuk Sau, Bong Sau, Pak Sau. Just go through a few of them. And you would have heard, some of you might have heard of them, some of you haven't, okay? So, but you'll realise that once we've got the knife or blade, you understand why we do it that way, alright? So assuming we're both looking for each centre, we're not just trying to hit each other's blade, he's looking for my centre, so I'm not going to do what I just did then, because if I just did that and he comes forward, I've got a problem. Because he was looking for my centre, all I was doing is chasing his blade. So now you know why people say, don't chase the hand. What Luke was chasing my centre, I was just chasing his blade. Can you see? Okay? So what happens if we both chase our centre? If he's stronger, he's coming in at me, but I've got a spare blade. So what am I going to do? Now, I've got a choice. We could use Pak Sau, which just means I'm just going to hit it out of the way. So if I just hit it out of the way, I'm straight in. Yes? Can you see? Pak Sau just means just going to hit it out of the way. And I could have gone the other way, so we've gone from here. But he's still looking for my centre, so I can't release this blade. Can you see? So what I'm going to do is that, using the other blade, I'm just going to hit that blade out the way. Yes? So if I just hit that blade, I come in. So it's a matter of, the only reason I had to do that was because that was pointed at me. And he did that. I'm not going to release that because I can't, because it's coming at me. If it's going just past me, then I could have done another technique instead of gone over there. This is why it's not relevant when we're using it without the blade, or as relevant. Because, you know, if you're trying to do something like boxing, you'd be coming up with a barrage of punches when you're so busy trying to look after one hand or trying to use two hands. Can you see? So we look at another technique, say for instance, go through this one, the Pak Sau one, because it's one of the most common one. When we're on the outside, we just want to get the weapon off us. Can you see? Because once we're here, I can just get our weapon by just taking the weapon and going through, assuming that I've got two. Yes? Alright? So we have things like Bong Sau, when we have the bomb, when we do the bomb, is in reaction to an energy. It would be pointless to intercept with a bong because it has no structure. Because bong is weak, but it's not weak if you use it as a secondary bridge rather than a primary bridge. We only use structures like the tan or the wu to intercept. But a bong is as a result of pressure, and you're thinking, well, if someone's going to punch you, you're not going to get pressure for more than a second, so why would you ever do a bong if someone's punching you? You don't need to. So when would you need to use a bong? If you did a strike, and I want to say, just for example, it's my left hand. I know that he's after my centre. Yes, I'm after his centre. The only problem is, he's stronger than me. Now, to release that energy, I'm not going to release it because it's going straight for me. I have to deflect that, okay? Now, what's going to happen is that I'm going to turn this hand, this bridge, into a bong. I'm going to redirect it over to there. But at the same time, I've got my guard up, and then when I lap this hand here, I've got a position here. Do you understand? That's why we need two hands to deal with one. Why? Because there's a weapon at the end of it. Does that make sense? Why we need the bong? The bong is a reaction to a superior force that I cannot deal with. Yes, I could just intercept it and then just do a lap straight away. But if I intercept that, I don't need to. Why do I need to go to a bong? If I took that properly, he's exposed anyway, assuming that he hasn't got another knife, a blade there. Does that make sense? Yes? So every single signature Wing Chun move we have is going to be much more effective when we've got the blades. Yes? Okay? So when we look at Huen Sau, which is the circuit hand, how do we use Huen Sau, for instance? Okay, same thing. I'm just going, when he hits, I've got a position here. Now, I've got a choice. If I can't cope with this position, I can just do what I told you before. But if it's got downward pressure here, I'm going to help him down. Now, he can't stop it. Now, when we look at the actual blade, we've got what we call an open position and a closed position. It's the action of it. It's not A or B, it's the action of A to B. Just like we have, a tan is not an open because it's finished at that point. So it's an opening to the tan. So it's a closing. So what happens, if we intersect, that's a structure at that point there. Now, what's going to happen is that if he holds that with any type of strength, he's not going to be able to stop me from bringing it down. So when we do the Huen, what's going to happen is this. Then we run past. Okay? So what happens with Huen is two movements. You can't just circle that hand, you have to slow it down. You're going to bring it down with the action of the knife and bring it across. Yes? Then it would work. Alright? You're not going to do it with anything else. You won't be able to catch a punch because the punch will be pulling back even if you touch it. Yes? But for us, we need to Huen to get around it because we have to control that blade. But it's pointless to do Huen on anything else if there's no blade there. You just pick up and then throw another punch. You would not bother to do a Huen. But can you see why we need to do it? So what happens, we have to learn how to use the energy. And when we do this, it's on the 45. Yeah? It's not on the vertical, otherwise you're not going to get the power. Well, if you get the power, you get linear power. We always have to use non-linear power. Yes? Okay? So what we see here already is that it's just signature moves that we have in Wing Chun. But it's because there's a blade at the end, that's why it looks like we're chasing. Yes? Okay? So the very simple thing from just the Tan Sau, from the Wu, from our guard, if we just engage, that's essentially our guard anyway. Yes? So from there, to get rid of the energy, if it comes into me, I only have to open up with a Tan. Yes? It's no different to the bridging, but some of you haven't done the bridging yet, so we're going to work backwards. But this is everything you can see, obviously, if you've been doing it longer, you can see where all the same bridging techniques are coming out into the knife. And the reason why we have these ones is purely because everything we do is going to be at the close range, literally within this range. Yes? Okay, so anything that we can't do from here. Now, for example, if we look at the Tuk Sau, now it's because we haven't got access to the other hand, so we just have one each. Alright, so what happens is that I could use my hand and hit the other hand out to do a Pak Sau to do that, but Tuk Sau is on the same hand. So what happens, each hand just from there's my Tuk Sau, and now I'm in. Yes? Tuk Sau just means that it just takes the hand offline. Yes? So the reason why we can still do Tuk Sau is because we didn't go there. If I went there straight away, not only do I not have any power, which is why you can do your Tuk Sau very easy. Can you see? So we don't want to close it off. We can close it, as in close it, but we don't want to close it off. So if I'm structure, I've still got the Tuk Sau. So because I can't use my other hand, the reason we're using the same weapon. If I do it this way, same thing, there's the Tuk Sau. Yes? Every single Wing Chun bridge we have is going to be much more effective when we bring it to the end. Okay, so the end of the training is to bring the bridge into the knives. Okay, so that just gives you an overview of where we're heading. Okay, but really the training is before the techniques, how to hold it, how to get the power from the knives, get the structure, and then bring the flow in. Okay, right.